Welcome back. Rico Moneybags, the channel helping you invest in yourself so we can invest in the future. Make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, make sure the bell notification stays lit. Like that, you guys will not miss out for any future updates. Today is the respect the pump kind of day, man. Let me know, what are you respecting the pump on? Is it on Clash? Is it on Manyu? Is it on XPX? Is it Yay? Whichever one you want to call it. Is it Hellboy? Is it XPX again? Because I put it twice up. I put it twice up there because I was thinking XRP, but we'll leave it just like that, man. Let me know what you guys are respecting the pump on. Obviously, up here, we got BTC doing some nice breakouts. We got Solana doing a nice little rally. We got almost just about everything kind of respecting the pump, kind of respecting that break over that 50 moving freaking average, fam. Okay. This is where the streams are a little bit different. This is when the races are kind of on. You know, the dogs are out of the cages. The things are going, things are firing, things are moving. This is kind of what we wanted for a while, right? It was that prolonged, it was almost like 6 weeks, fam, of just, you know, that downturn. And then we had that sideways trading. It was boring as all heck. So let's jump right into it, fam. We definitely still got that breakout over the $3 trillion market cap. Let's share the screen really quick right here. Let me see. Why is it sharing that screen? It's actually the wrong screen. Share this screen over here. But if you guys can share the live stream, man, I really would appreciate it if you guys can share that. Yeah, we're sharing this screen right here. Okay, cool. So welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Appreciate you guys pulling up. We got ourselves our early stream because we got some spaces to do later on. You know, we're going to be jumping around on X, so we're knocking out the stream very early. I mean, why not? I mean, the markets are pumping. Things are looking good. We got the respect the pump kind of stream going on. Kind of get some of the UK people to tune in. Get some of the, you know, people across the pond to tune in. And then, of course, everybody from the US that we've been catching doing kind of those later shows, you know, kind of those 3 p.m. Eastern time shows. I've been catching a lot of the people from the United States, and we're moving the time schedules around a little bit just to get a little bit of everybody to pull up, find out what projects you guys are buying on, you know, find out what projects you guys are bullish. And that's what we're here to do. That's what we're going to do today. So let's start off with BTC first right away. We got BTC at 92,000, hitting over 93, really getting close to that 94K. We got Ethereum well over 3,300 at some points, up 8.9% on the week. The overall market just feeling really good, right? It wasn't feeling good before. Now it's feeling kind of great. We got XRP up 22.5%, just like that. Boom, out of nowhere. It's flying, fam. We're back, you know, and it feels really good. How long is that going to stick around for? We're going to find out. We're just tracking price, but we are respecting the pump that we've been having since we broke on this daily chart. Now, maybe we get hit on the head like whack-a-mole. Maybe the weekly chart is still bearish. Maybe. But right now, what we're looking at is a nice little movement in the overall market. We also got BNB up 6% of the week. You know, BNB breaking over $900. Solana's really been doing its dance, up 10%, really over 11% sometimes, you know, the way that it was moving. And Solana's doing really good. Some nice ebb and flow that we haven't seen in a while, really getting that rhythm back. And that's been really nice to see in the overall market as well, with Solana, ETH, BNB, and BTC kind of getting that ebb and flow, that rhythm back. And we're even seeing a little bit of the narratives also come back a little bit of that ebb and flow within the narratives, the Matt Fury plays, right? We're going to talk about that because these are all little weird signals. Yes, we look at the overall crypto, the overall crypto market cap, right? That's awesome. We look at, you know, the weekly on these, on how they're moving and things like that. Awesome. Perfect. But also the narratives, how they pick up again. Clash has been pumping. You know, you got Manyu turning up again. You got all these projects. You got the Hellboy, which is a Matt Fury play, coming to life again. And these narratives, they kind of signal when the markets are kind of feeling ready to fire again, right? And, you know, for a while, we weren't having no Matt Fury plays. It was like Matt Fury was taking a nap. You know, there was no new Matt Fury plays really happening. Now we got Matt Fury plays full swing, which there's going to be one that we covered. You guys let me know, should there be a part 3 to Hellboy? Do you guys feel that we've been robbed from the Hellboy movie, only getting 1 and 2 and not getting part 3? Let me know down in the chat if you guys watch the movies. But right here, this is the Respect the Pump, fam. If you guys are tuning in live or maybe later on, because I know we usually stream later on in the day, I want you guys to also come over here and respect the pump, man. Respect the pump. How long do we respect it for? Until, you know, until that's it, until there's no more pump. But this is the thing we were talking about for so long, man. It's finally happening. Now we're on the flip side of this stuff, and we do this a lot. You know, this happens. This happened back in February. It's happening here once again. We're seeing, you know, this clear break above the 50 moving average. It doesn't even matter what you're looking at. I was checking out D Wade. D Wade broke out. I mean, that thing broke out like crazy. Why? Broke past the 50 moving average. This thing's flying. Back over $30. D Wade, it was up at $48 at one point, went all the way down. Everything got rocked October 10th. And that thing's been trading pretty good. QBTS. And we go look at QBTS right now. It's like that thing's back over $30. So it's not just crypto that's moving a little bit. Almost everything's kind of moving a little bit, right? So we're having things respect the pump across the board, fam. But BTC looking really good. We come down to the 4-hour chart. We got this clear break, over the 50. We're just flying high. But it's this daily and this weekly chart that are the main ones, right? Because they kind of tell us where we got to get to. We kind of broke past these tops already, right? We clearly kind of, we're peaking right above these previous highs over here. And we go to the wick. But nonetheless, we got this lower valley range that it's going to be this little ceiling for us right here. That's 100K BTC. 100K BTC. We're going towards that direction. No matter what anybody says, maybe we get hit on the head. But we do got a gap that can incentivize us to fill this thing right here. And we know that they get filled, not because we like to get them filled, not because we fill them ourselves, just because the markets do that, right? And we got this lower valley range. And if BTC can get above this, the races are really going to feel good. But this is the direction that we're heading. And you have to respect the pump right now. BTC hit 94,500 right now. Yes, is it pulling back? Yes, nothing we've never seen before. But it is nice to be on this side of the 50 moving average, finally, feeling that excitement in the market again, feeling a little bit like, feeling good, right? I see AD in here. I see Darren in here. It's feeling really good. Bring your favorite plays, man. You see this buy signal. I mean, as valid as a buy signal could ever be, especially when you got all these moving averages twisting together. Let's zoom in on that. Let's get really nice and almost too personal, right? Get as personal as we can with this thing. And right here, this little buy signal and all these moving averages crossing each other like that, tangling up, just saying, you know what, the party's going this way. That's the trend changing right there. Look at all these other times we tried to get above the 50. We could not get up there. We could not get up there whatsoever. And now, if you look, finally, we've been trading this way forever. Finally, you get that you get that breakdown, the chart comes down, and then you get this nonstop sideways trading. That gets boring. People don't, people get exhausted. But this is the moment that we kind of all we've been waiting for. And it's a daily chart. Each candle represents one day. So look at how many days have to pass so we finally get this motion where this right here is what we want to see, because then we can see this thing can fill into this gap, right? This volume gap, go to this lower valley range, and with these indicators on, now we can see the 100, we can see the 200. And this is why we're saying, although we're having positive price action getting above the 50, we still got some work to do. If we can get above these, which is BTC above the 100K mark and breaking past the 100 and the 200, we fill this volume gap and we're trading up here in this section. Things are going to be feeling a lot better. BTC over 100K, BTC over the 100 moving average, BTC over the 200 moving average, BTC above the lower value range, maybe headed toward the point of control, 110 BTC, which we know the point of control, this red line acts like a magnet, right? It's not a guarantee because, for a while we've been in this downtrend, but right now this stream is to respect the pump. This is a respect the pump stream, and the pump is happening. We're going to go to the weekly chart and show you guys why we're still being cautious, and this is why we got this 200. We got the 100 right there. And obviously, when we're looking over here on the weekly chart and we're zoomed out just a little bit more, we still don't got our buy signal. It would be nice to see that buy signal print. We still got 5 days. It could print any day, right? It can get really strong right here, but the markets are looking bullish. The markets are looking a lot better. Now, this could be, our first attempt and our second attempt. And then right here where we would kind of land on this 200 moving average, right? First mouse gets to squeeze, second mouse gets to cheese. That's the potential of this sell signal staying valid, because we can see the 50 moving average trailing like this. And a lot of times the first attempt after breaking underneath usually fails. Not all the time, but usually fails. Now, remember, each candle represents 1 week. So we're going to be here for a little bit. So get comfortable. Let's get to know each other a little bit because this stuff takes time to, obviously evolve quite a bit. But this is what you're going to end up kind of seeing. And maybe, you know what? Maybe it is the first attempt and it breaks through. And then we get a buy signal. I mean, I'm all for that. I think everybody in the chat right now would be for that as well, right? So the fact that we got some, nonstop, this, you see it's holding here, holding here, holding here, here. It kept bouncing on that 100 moving average. You can see how these other moving averages to pay attention to are valid. Yeah, we'll clean up the chart and stuff, but if you're wondering what it's holding on to, you find a moving average, you're going to find time and price hanging out right here. And this is that 100 moving average that has been holding on here, 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 will not break underneath this purple line. But if it does, this is where that 73K is realistic, right? This is where that 73K is realistic. But right now we are respecting the pump. We're respecting the pump. I don't know, we got to respect the pump. Maybe it gets hit right here and, price goes up and price gets rejected right here. Oh, well, it is what it is. Maybe we trade sideways in here, right? And we got to find a way to get past these moving averages, just like we did over here, till we squeeze them all together and they kind of break past naturally. That could be something that happens. But BTC en route for $100,000 BTC. I mean, that's just what's going on right now. It's filling the gap. It's looking really good. It's, yesterday was looking good. Today's looking great. Still going in that right direction, having nice pumps. You're looking at the daily, is looking perfect. Of course, you're going to have some corrections on the lower time frames, but here you go. This is the 200. Are you shocked that when we get above the 200, we have more power? That's just natural. Above the 50, above the 200, sends. That first mouse, second mouse, it just keeps moving like that. There's that little motion that exists quite a bit. Quite a bit. Now we could be seeing a little correction. Still no sell signal on this 4-hour chart, mind you. This is still could be bouncing off the 20 and just keep going right back up because the markets are that bullish. Or we could be seeing price come down to 91. But you know what? These lower time frames, I'm not really too concerned about. I'm more concerned with this section right here. This is the area that I'm looking at the most. It's like getting back to 100K, breaking past these two moving averages, filling this gap. The races are going to be completely on. But this is why we are all respecting the pump right now, because this has just been moving like that. Let's go to Ethereum next. Ethereum has definitely been giving us that respect the pump kind of vibe. Let's turn off some indicators. Just keep it clean for a little bit. Showing you guys it doesn't take too much to respect the pump. Here we go. I mean, same trending topic, right? Breaking past that 50, trading into this gap, this lower value range. Oh, this is BTC, excuse me. I was like, whoa. Oh, we could go to Coinbase. Here we go, right here. Going right to that lower value range. Exactly to that lower value range. And this gap could be filled. This is why things are looking kind of good for ETH right now, right? You see this right here happening. This is the price. Where can ETH be going to? Right here, 3,800. If it can break past this lower value range and really break past these highs over here, these tops, it'll trade into this gap and chase this little peak right here, which if you look backwards, you can see we've been here before, right? This whole little section. So even ETH is looking fantastic right now. The markets are just looking really good. Now, Solana had a nice little breakout today. Nice, great. I mean, just the ebb and flow, it's just going really, really good. So we're, obviously tracking all of these, but getting ETH above 3,800 or 3,400 right here, this lower value range, you could potentially see it go to 38. That's the type of markets that we're in right now. The things are flipping. You could feel it. The YouTubers feel more YouTube-y. The KOLs feel more KOL-ish. The spaces feel more spacious, and all of that good stuff that we're adding into this space, right? So the trend is your friend, and even the way that you feel the overall market, and you can tell how it's going. You can tell that things are just feeling a lot more bullish right now. Everybody's respecting the pump. It's not that hard to kind of respect the pump. Now, hey, maybe the weekly, like we talked about on BTC, we still got some sell signals, right? And obviously we're going to keep an eye on that. Maybe these things turn around, but we're still working off some sell signals on the weekly. This thing came straight to the 200. There's a lot of bouncing right here, but this daily chart, it's looking good. This daily buy signal looking great. You can see that 200 right there, right exactly where that lower value range. That's not a coincidence. That's time and price, being hopeless romantics, always finding themselves all over again. You know, this is where these things are going to lay down right here. And that's going to be the crucial point of the pump happening right here above this lower rally range to kind of get into this peak right here, you know, 3,800. So looking really good. I mean, let's respect the pump, fam. I mean, these prices are good. This is where we're going to want to break $3,400 ETH. Breaks past that, and you can see the markets get super excited again for sure. Let's go to BNB. Yes, I agree with you, Darren. I totally agree with you, and I'm okay with that, right? We're good with that, right? We need some of that. We got BNB doing very similar things. I mean, anybody can digest this. This green line going green, then it turns red. Anybody can digest this. This side means good. This side means bad, depending how you look at it, right? If you're shorting it, then it also means good. So be careful how you look at things, because, you know, then you get locked into that whole, you know, level of perception, and then you think this is bad when you really could have just shorted it right here and made money on the way down and say, you know what, now it's breaking on this side. Let me get out of Dodge. Maybe I'm placing my long on a daily. I see BNB filling this gap. Maybe I can see BNB coming up to 1K, you know, coming to chase some of these previous highs over here, see if it can trade into this little gap, you know, a little over $1,000. But nonetheless, we're having this clear respect the pump happening right here with break above the 50 moving average. And it hasn't happened in a while. This is not something that we're doing on this day or that day, and we're saying, hey, guys, we're above it right now. Things are looking good. No, well, there was no moment in time. And this is why I said for a while, I was like, we still got a lot of work to do, because we weren't even close to the 50 moving average. And I told everybody, I was like, you'll see it. It'll almost like come together and they'll squeeze together almost naturally. You don't even got to force it. You don't even got to be concerned with it. It's almost going to do it on its own. And you see that happening right there where, you know, these things are twisting together. You know, the candles are on the top and the 50 moving average is on the bottom. So this is something that you can say why we're kind of respecting the pump and how I can fill this gap, you know, at least to 1K BNB. Maybe that's where it gets rejected, right? And I'm sure we'll find some moving averages that are going to be hanging out right around there. And there you go. What do you see? You see this, what, 100 moving average right there. So yeah, we could definitely fill the gap. Maybe there's just a trade right here, right? And it's coming up to the 100 moving average, and price can get rejected coming right back down after going up, or it breaks the 100 moving average and has a continuation moving up, because there is another gap right here that it could fill. So if the market stay bullish and things stay on this positive trend, this is where these buy signals that are on the daily chart turn into buy signals on the weekly chart. Now, still a sell signal on the weekly chart and on most of them. We're going to check on BNB right now. But you can see where even filling this gap, you know, even without having the 100 moving average on, I knew that this is the section where we would have some, you know, a little bit of whack-a-mole going on. And right here, this peak right here, of course, boom, what do you find? A 100 moving average right there. So time and price, you know, holding hands once again, having another dance on the floor. And, you know, possibly it goes great, or maybe somebody steps on somebody's toes and we come back down. But we got BNB right here doing this thing, you know, headed towards that 100 moving average. We go to the weekly chart, and this is that confirmation of the sell signal still being in and valid right here. But boy, are they twisting. And I will say that out of all of them, BNB was the only one that never went underneath the 50, never even went underneath the 20, just stood, you know, doing this thing for the most part. Had a couple wicks underneath it, but for the most part, the trend above the moving averages, yeah, they're really fanned out, but stood really intact for the most part. And you're seeing where this on the weekly chart, BNB could be essentially very soon, you know, twisting this thing up right here. And if these things twist up right here, we're going to see a buy signal print right here, and then possibly headed right back towards all-time high BNB, which, you know, of course, that'd be a nice little rally for BTC. You'll have the same kind of rally going on with ETH and Solana and the rest of them. And but that's what it's looking like on the weekly chart. That's what it's looking like on the weekly chart. And I think that is the most accurate way to look at things right now. Is this daily and this weekly chart to see exactly what's going to be going on. You know, why is all this excitement happening? Well, we're doing something we haven't done in a while. We're trading above the 50. Are we completely out of trouble? No. We still got to deal with this one right here. We got one moving average to break past. But if we get above that 100, you know, let's mark up this upper valley range as a target for, you know, the weekly flickering back green, and this thing turning up in that direction. If we get past that 100, we're talking, you know, BNB back towards all-time highs over $1,200. Let's go to Solana. Let's go to Solana next. Appreciate you guys pulling up. Appreciate you guys all reposting the stream. Here goes that Solana action. We're going to clean up the chart first, and then we'll turn on the indicators just to get a nice little clean view, and we'll start adding the filters, right? But again, you know, what's going on with Solana? Why are we feeling all this excitement? Well, we're doing something we haven't done in a while, you know, for a hot minute. This has been not that great. And then you got all these days of sideways trading, a little bit more dippy dip. Boring, you know. Sellers exhausted, buyers exhausted, consolidation, it's just horrible, right? It gets chopped. The sellers are, you know, and then we get finally this break right here. And this break is happening where we were talking about for a hot minute, getting a bit redundant on everybody, on waiting for finally just to get a break above the 50. Like, you know, that's why I was telling everybody, just spend some time with your families, go touch some grass, go roll up some grass, go throw some grass. I don't care what you do with the grass, go do something, right? Because we still have some time. If you want to feel back bullish and on the long side of things, this is where that was going to happen. And then we would trade into this gap, right? And come into those gaps that we see. But now it's those times that we actually talk about that. So Solana's moving in that right direction, looking really, really good. And we're seeing that happen right now. When we turn on the indicators, you know, you get more confirmation of the same kind of thing. There goes the 100 to 200, and that's the test. Getting past his lower value range of 150 Solana, and at the same time breaking 150 Solana, we break, you know, the 100 or the 200, and we start trading into this gap right here. Maybe we come to the point of control, getting close to a $190 Solana. The markets will be hot. Your favorite meme coins will be pumping again. And we're kind of seeing that already. We're actually kind of seeing that already with the likes of Clash. You know, that's one that you got to respect the pump on. You're seeing ETH pump up. You're seeing Manyu also start to take off again. And you're seeing the overall excitement in the market kind of come right back in. You know, we could play around and joke around for like with people, and I think some people do like that and stuff. But that's why we just always keep it 100, because it's a lot easier for us to be like, you know what? The chart still has some work to do. This could be a good time for development. You know, we're not going to, you know, it had all of that to do. How many times people said, you know, they were telling us the floor was in, and it was like, why even do that, you know? But you know what? That's why some people watch dramas and they like the emotional roller coaster. But they said the floor was here, the floor was here, the floor was here. I was like, hey, I don't know if the floor is there, and I can be wrong. I've been wrong before, but I know that the floor usually is kind of disappearing when we can actually get above this 50 moving average like we're doing over here. So now I would say, and I'm willing to put it on the line a little bit, maybe we got an artificial floor. Maybe I'm actually stepping on quicksand for all I know. That's why this is not financial advice. I'm not a guru or nothing like that. But out of all these other times when people were saying the floor is in, the floor is in, the floor is in, I'm like, I don't know. Now I'm saying maybe, maybe. Right? We still got the 100 and the 200 to get above, but I like where we're at. I like that we're above the 50 moving average. I like that I see a cool little gap that we can trade on. I like that we have the opportunity to get above 150, you know, that round number, you know, 100, 125, 150, 175, 200. Those round numbers always mean something. And, you know, that lower value range being right where this 50 is at, right where that 100 and 200 moving average is at, and where these things can roll over, I think is super crucial. And we're seeing that kind of respect the pump is looking really good. Kulo is going to rip very soon. Nice, man. Let the Kulo fam know, man. I think that project has a lot of potential, man. It's Sui rips, and that thing rips, and I think people are going to print like crazy on that thing. Honestly, it's just so low market cap. Such a low market cap, and they are actually pretty well connected, and people sleep on Sui. We'll take a look at Sui next, since we're talking about Kulo and talking about Sui. Like I said, I appreciate you guys who pulled up for this very early stream. It's before 9 o'clock. We got some spaces to do later on. You know, we got some alpha to be spreading around, of course. And then, of course, thank you to those who are listening to this later on in the day, normal hours. So pull up to our spaces later on. Instead of a live stream, we'll be having a space. So make sure you guys pull up to that as well. So Solana right now, 150 is the target. And then we can see if we can, you know, get above, you know, these moving averages right here, and see if the weekly Is the weekly ready to flick green? Did it do enough bounce off the 200 moving average, or are we going to see some lower prices? And if it can hold on to this 200 for dear life, like it's been holding on to, maybe this is where it turns around. Or maybe it gets whack-a-mole right on the head on one of these moving averages, and then we see some lower prices. So Happy New Year, fam. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, fam. 2026, man. It's going to be like 2027 right away. Watch. Time just flies. It doesn't even care. Gray hairs and time doesn't fly. I mean, gray hairs and time don't care. They just a new gray hair every day, and somehow it's the weekend all over again. Time flies. You gotta do your thing in this space. You gotta be affected by the pump mind virus, man. That's why you just gotta go nonstop. You just gotta have fun with it and just grind. And because time's not even waiting for you, it doesn't even care. Your gray hairs don't care, and time don't care. And we're gonna look up, and tomorrow we're gonna be 80 years old. So right now is our time to be, affected by the pump mind virus. Let's go to Sui next. Yeah, I think 150 is definitely the price that we'll be looking at for Solana to break and go crazy. So again, if you're wondering like, hey, why is Sui pumping? What's going on? Well, hey, that's why sometimes it's like, it's not the greatest thing to talk about. Nobody wants to hear. Rico, what are we doing? Oh, we're still going down. Rico, what are we doing? We're still going down. What are we doing today? We're going down, because nobody wants to talk about this. They want to tell you the floor's in. They don't want to talk about that. I want to make you sure, I'm not a financial advisor, but this is where things can get real for somebody and go in the right direction. Why? Not because I said so. Don't go what I say. Just look backwards. When we break above this 50 moving average, after prolonged downtrend, and we get above a 50 moving average, we get all this pump up in that direction. You see that? Doesn't that make sense? All that scrabble. Look at this. That's pretty nice. I don't know. Is that what's happening right now? Because when it did it right here, it went up. When it did it right here, it went up. When it did it right here, it went up. And the same thing goes for the other side, right? When it went underneath it, it went down. When it went underneath it, it went down, right? But we notice on this daily chart, after these prolonged squeezing everybody and their mom out of the market, a nice little chop after that, right? A nice little chop after that, nice little chop after that, nice little chop after that, nice little chop after that. When it gets back above that 50 moving average, what does it start to do? It starts to rip. Starts to freaking rip and leave everybody behind. And everybody's wondering why. Well, I mean, the most simplest thing I can say is because it's the trend. I mean, respect the pump. Respect the trend. Forget everything else. I don't care what nobody's saying. I don't. I really don't. Something's going on. What is going on? We're respecting the pump. Why? Because finally it's above the 50 moving average and it's trading into this gap. What price can it go to? What is it trying to attack? Well, I mean, very easily. Shout out to Blunt House for hooking us up with this. It comes with all this amazing stuff and has this, indicator right here, the volume profile. This is where I would say it was going to go attack. We're not snatching prices out of thin air, right? And you can see how we have all this right here. We have all this right here. So yeah, where's price going to most likely try to go to? 246. Let's round it up to 250. Why? Because the freaking round numbers, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, So the same thing. $1, $1.50, $2, $2.50, right here. 246, $2.50. That's where Sui's trying to get to. Why? Because we can see these gaps that it wants to fill. Right? It kind of already broke past these previous highs for sure. That's why you're having that extra pump happen. Right? Hold on, let me get this out the way. Right? If you're looking at these guys got crushed. You could do the body, you could do the wick. It doesn't matter which one you choose. They got crushed. Right? We broke right past that. This is actually Sui's looking really good to be able to break down. That's what's nice about looking at all this stuff, because honestly, fam, we need to refine our we need to be smooth with this. Like, we need to be really smooth and good with this. Like, we owe it to ourselves. Like, honestly, like this is our space, fam. This is our space to have fun. And I'm telling you, trust me, I get bored of this going down like this too. And then all this freaking chop nonstop. Like, that's, oh my God. And then it's like everybody's pulling up. It's like, Rico, when is it over? I said, not yet. But now it's like, okay, check this out. You got clear, anybody. If you look up any technical stuff, the breaking past the previous ways high, this thing's above a 50 moving average. This stuff talking to you. This stuff is literally talking to you and telling you, hey, none of this stuff was saying anything about anything positive going on. But when you see these candles breaking breaking above the 50 moving average, and you can wait. I mean, look at this candle. The minute it broke past these previous tops over here, of course. I mean, that's what happens. That's those little clues, these little things happening makes other people buy in. This is a big psychological game. What we're seeing, there's somebody else saying, yes, oh, it broke the previous ways high. Of course it's going to go. Where is it going to go? Well, this is their target. That's their target right there. And, the first one, we got this peak right here. We can see it. And that's what's nice about this tool because it helps you see things that most people won't really see. And this is why you're seeing a little bit. But, I mean, this is looking good. Looking good. Let's turn on the indicator. Give us a little bit more filtration. Appreciate you guys reposting this, sharing this as much as you guys can. And you can see, bam, you get confirmation of this little clue right here. Why was I hitting my head? Why is this little peak right here, causing this green candle to have a really long wick and push the body of the candle down? The minute you turn on this indicator, blunthouseta.com, well, bam, you got this freaking 100 moving average right there. So that's why, you're seeing that selling pressure because now you're starting to crash into that, that 100 moving average. We got to get above this one, get above this 200, right? Get above this lower value range and possibly trade into this gap. And this is a lot of if, and we got to do this, that, and the third. But this is what that treasure map would look like if it started to do it, right? This is what that runner would actually start to consist of. It would break above the 50 moving average. It did. It broke past the previous way high. It did. It's working towards the 100 moving average. It hasn't broken it yet, but if it damn sure did and made a support above it, well, there's a gap right here. Could we trade into that gap? 100%. And most likely trading into this gap would have enough momentum to break past the 200 moving average because this is a lot of bullish trend. A lot of people are going to follow this, and we could potentially get above this $2.50 on SUI, which would bring a lot of hype to your culo play, right? Would bring a lot of hype to your favorite SUI plays. At the end of the day, that's what we want. And these things matter. And it's been boring for a while. I know you guys, it's been boring for a while, but this is what we've been waiting for. So holiday season's over. I know we had a kind of, I think it was great because we got to spend it all together, right? And obviously everybody in Web3, we all rock with each other really hard. But, after October 10th and the way the market ended and it was just choppiness and everybody was more focused on that, fine, that's cool. That's why I said it was important. But now I think that if you got a project, if you got a community that you're bullish on and you're looking for when is like a good time to kind of push right now, this is a good time. This is a good time to push on your SUI, to push on your culo, to push on your Solana place, to push on your pump mine virus. Why? Because the markets are telling us. The money is telling us. You don't want to do it when it's thin out there. If it's thin, it's thin. If it's thin out there, it's thin out there. But right now, speaking of culo, it's thicky, thicky, thick. Shout out to the old school Nelly song. All right, man. We're having that's when we start having a lot of fun. So if you guys got some more blue chips that you guys want me to check out, let me know. Obviously, any top 50, top 100, Monero, you got your XLM pumping. Everything's about to pump right now. You got, where's Zcash at, actually? Let's see Zcash really quick. Yeah. We're not trading Zcash. I just wanted to take a look at it because I know I had a nice correction after that crazy rally, but it's still not. I'd be careful on this one. I could see this rolling over. I've seen this little, it's getting tired, you got the moving averages even already rolling over that way. And you got the 50 crossing to 20. It's like, you got a nice little doji candle starting to come up right there. I still think that there's some shaking out to do on this because it moved up so exponentially. So I would be more cautious on this one. Let's go to XRP. Then we're going to go to Clash, that you must respect the pump on the Clash community. You must respect the pump on that movement, fam. Come on now. All right, let's go into this because we're respecting the pump together. Thank you guys for respecting the pump with me. If you guys are respecting the pump, like honestly, if you've been affected by the pump mind virus, if you're a Web3 fanatic, like repost this. Get one of your community members to repost this on X. What are they doing for their bags? No more. That's it. Let's go. Turn up. Go, 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 go. Send team 6. Go. Everybody go, 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 because the markets are hot, you know. Now everybody's done spending time with their families and stuff like that. We're back in Web3. Let's go. Go to the time, grab your timesheet. Go to the clock, punch in, because that's what we're doing right now. It's time the grind time is right now. And let's go into XRP. Let's turn off the indicators first, clean up the chart a little bit. Let's milk the stream together, fam. Honestly, it's what we've been waiting for. I love how our support and stuff lands exactly where this point of control is. That's how it's really close to $3. It would naturally do this. We can get this stuff out the way because it's already there. We've seen this is where we held on to. And like I told everybody, remember this. I know it gets kind of crazy, and we remember that downtrend. I was like, if there was an area where it had to freaking do it, look at all this. This is that area right here where we've been here a lot of times and the pump turned around. Now, obviously, this is October 10th. This is going to be remembered as, historical wipeout to, I don't know, manipulate the market. We'll still never know exactly what caused it exactly and stuff like that, right? Where it's above our tax bracket, I guess, or something like that. But we'll figure it out. Eventually, everything comes to the light. So just give it time. But at the end of the day, this was where the structure price was at for XRP for a long time, where we had turnaround happen. So it's not picture perfect, right? But it was like, hey, if there was an area that this thing would want to turn around, be right here. And I told everybody, not till we see this thing get back above the 50, because when we get underneath it, it's like, yeah, that's why people were shooking out for a while, because that's a lot of freaking boringness. We got freaking TikTok, we got Instagram Reels, we got this stuff, and you're telling me I gotta wait days and days when I can just keep swiping up and get that feeling right away. It's like, yeah, you're not gonna get that feeling right away when you're waiting for this thing to, either you're shorting it and you're respecting that trend, you're respecting the trend that way, or you're respecting the trend the opposite way. But, when you're dealing with this stuff, this is why the market gets very mopey right away, because either you take advantage of this stuff or, you start going and doing something else, because you can't just look at this and be like, when that stuff, man, that's exhausting. That takes a lot of energy. Well, when? Now, AD, now pump mind virus, now XRP community, now. When should the XRP community be rallying right now? They should be turned up. And I know the XRP community has a fantastic community. We're going to make some posts on them on CMC later on. Make sure you guys tune in for those. Max engage on those posts. They get a lot of views, actually. But XRP community, I know you guys been, hanging out with the family. They're a little bit more on the retail side. They're a little bit more green when it comes to the crypto space, right? They love their XRP. And I love that they love it. I love that they love it. I love it too. I love that they love it. That's a lot of love. That's a lot of love for XRP. And I want the XRP people to feel the love right now when we're pumping past the 50. Why is it being exciting? What's going on, Rico? What the heck? Who said something? Well, the charts, the money tells us what's going on. You want to talk about communication skills right here. Let's work on our communication skills with crypto, because it's finally doing its thing. We're having something different happen. We're going to turn on the indicators, and then we're going to go on the weekly. And we're going to show how we still got some work to do. You see that lower value range. Can we break past this lower value range? Can we get the trading into this gap right here? We know we want to trade into this gap. Why? Because then we get pulled to the point of control, and we're talking about XRP, $3. Everybody's rallying again. There's confetti popping off. There's pinatas being hit with sticks. XRP falling from the pinatas, right? Because it's starting to head back over that $3 range. And there wasn't that, before there was people like, this is the floor. This is the floor. I wasn't buying that. This was the floor to them. This was the floor to them. This was the floor to them. And I said, maybe this is the floor. And, this is the area where we've been before. If I look backwards, this is where I would consider maybe having a little bit of floor action, right? But I needed a little bit of this to go with the floor action. It wasn't just, hey, is this the floor? And then we don't get. I need my communication skills. You got to be intimate with this stuff. This is on a whole nother level. And here we go. Taking XRP out on a night on the town, and XRP breaking out above the 50 moving average, getting towards that lower value range. And we turn on the indicators, we're gonna have indications of where this stuff is at. Well, what's going on? Boom, here we go. Of course, time and price. Here we go. Meeting once again. I mean, it's right here. I freaking love it. You got to love it too. I mean, nobody else is going to keep it real with you like this money is going to keep it real with you. Nobody's going to. And if you're allowing it to communicate with you, here you go. What's going on? Why is all this stuff happening? We got that buy signal. Let's go. But it's not the buy signals like these. We don't want these. I like these with a little break above the 50. Maybe I'm being a little picky, but that's okay. Because I notice when we get above that 50, things get nice, right? Not because I say so, because when we look backwards, above the 50, got nice. Above the 50, got really nice, right? So is this the time that it gets really nice again? Well, we use these indicators. We had some filters, and we're like, hey, how can it get to looking really nice? Well, right here, this is what we want to see. Crashing into the 100, crashing into the 200, trading into this little gap right here, and really trying to get above the 100 and 200 moving average. If XRP can do his dance like this and start trading into this gap, XRP to $3, the point of control is real. It's real. And then that's where we can start to see maybe on this weekly chart, the markets are turning around. We are respecting this as well. This could be a case of first mouse gets to squeeze, second mouse gets to cheese. This is our first time hitting the 50 moving average, and a lot of times that fails. It can do this. That's a real thing. And why? Because we got the 100 coming right there, and we got the 200 coming to meet it right there, right? So those are real things that can still happen. Just this is a green candle on the weekly chart, but I think it's safe to say this is a different type of pump on the daily compared to all the other ones, right? We had other green candles on the weekly chart, and it was still, respected downtrend, right? Right here, this was the sell signal. We got a green candle here. Nope. Green candle here. Nope. Green candle there. Nope. Red. Green candle there. Nope. Just a green candle in the downtrend. Red. Green candle there. Maybe doji too. So, trend is changing when you see that doji. Now, this green candle is being mixed in with a lot of other stuff over here that I really like. I like all this stuff when it comes together like this. Good luck, giver tokers. What's up, man? Welcome in. If you guys got some projects, some tokens you guys want me to look at, get your communities in here. I mean, this is crazy free marketing going on. There's over 400 people live. Your community should be in here spamming the comments. And this is an early stream. There's going to be people tuning into this later on reading the comments. So get your community in here. This is the time that you go Team 6. Everybody go Raider, Schiller, because we're seeing the markets turn around for BTC, XRP, Solana, BNB, XPX, Yay token, Clash, Manyu, all of these things are pumping in the right direction. This is our time to get your Captain BNBs, to get your Terry community, to get your Pump My Virus, to get your NFT projects. Tell me some NFT projects. NFTs have been stepping it up lately. I think the NFTs are kind of sneaking in right now. Here we go right here with that buy signal. Valid. Let's trade into this gap and see if we can get into that $3 range on that XRP, baby. Man, that hazelnut coffee is good. This one's here for Manyu. And again, a respect the pump kind of stream today. Yes, man, let's come all the way over here. Is this a respect the pump? We got to respect the pump. We got Manyu turning up, trending number 3, coming back to life, man. I mean, you don't fade something with this much exposure, fam. This is going to be a real case of, did you DCA? Did you buy more Manyu? Did you load up on Manyu? You got Dogecoin right here. Tag that one friend who still uses dark mode on their phone. I use dark mode on everything. You look at my X, is dark. I don't know. My eyes would be toast. My eyes would be toast if I even my everything's dark mode. So tag me in this, because we got freaking Manyu being, kind of mentioned with Dogecoin right here, fam, from their page. This is Manyu right there. Coincidence? I don't know. I don't know. I think it's pretty bullish, and you're seeing this thing literally telling everybody to respect the pump. Manyu's doing his thing. This is a solid community, massive amount of exposure. Social media presence is through the roof. I mean, any project that would have this will be self-sustainable for a long time. This is a multi-cycle play right here. This thing is a respect the pump play. They have a very big community. The more and more they post, the more and more these channels grow, the more people will come into this, the more retail understand that crypto's here to go. All of these people are not into cryptocurrency yet. The more their local states, the more their local countries start to talk more about crypto, and they're like, well, guess what? My dog that I watch videos on, I like watching Manyu videos. He's a crypto token. I'm going to buy some of that. That's going to happen. That's going to happen. So Manyu right here showing you guys what it looks like to respect the pump, headed towards $20 million market cap. I mean, what a great community. They're rallying nonstop, and they have a lot of presence out there. They're doing their thing. They got staking live, and I think people are going to be staking up that Manyu right now. They're going to be staking up that Manyu. Let's go ahead and find you guys another one. I think Clash is telling everybody to respect the pump. Boy, did Clash come back to life and tell everybody to respect the pump. Right here, we got Clash at over 36 million, wicking up past 40 million. I saw George live, people active. I mean, I'm telling you guys, it's not me telling you. Like, when you see the pump happening and you're seeing the markets come back to life, you saw that even though the holiday season was whipping the market, and you're still doing what you're supposed to be doing, you keep grinding away, because eventually the tide will change. It will change. And this is what respect the pump freaking looks like. This is what it looks like. And sometimes I need people to understand, like, this shows you, even a KOL at that level, Cryptos R Us, even a project at this level, the Clash Royale, getting exposure, it was subjected to the way the market was feeling. Why? Because BTC was pulling back. Like, don't tell me this place is not, like, you don't got to deal with feelings and stuff, right? Like, that's why it's important that we keep that stuff in check. That's why it's important. We've had some great spaces. Shout out to AJ from the Seolana community as well. Talking about the psychology in the market. What changed, AD? What changed? Why is Clash pumping today? This is still the same great play. Why is it pumping? Is George different? Is George growing some new hair or something? No. George is still that handsome stud that he is. And what's up? You got Clash up. What changed? What changed? The market condition has changed. The sentiment has changed. Right? So that's why it's important also to, keep your grass cut low, because you can see how much that stuff affects the overall market, can affect the overall sentiment in your Telegram, because somebody's being a certain type of way. This is proof of how much, this is why exciting community is the best community. A solid community is going to be the community that wins. Clash, staying positive is going to win. The Clash people knew that they had, why not stay positive? They got freaking George. What changed? What changed? Is that not a good question? What changed? Well, guess what? The sentiment in the market is what changed, fam. Here we go right here. New listing, Clash. George plays Clash Royale, XT Exchange. And again, the markets turn up. You get some of this stuff going on. So more exposure. You are here. Look at this. This is where Clash is at right here. I think Clash would be probably in the hundreds and hundreds of $1 million market cap for sure. He's never quit crypto. If he would have started this, if Pump Fund was doing what it was doing, like back when it first started, or he first started it, this could be already a super top coin. It's here to stay. And I think it's what the heck? They reposted a stream. Look at that. Shout out to George. They reposted our stream. Oh, much love, man. Oh, that's organic as heck. That's awesome. Yeah, we've been rocking with you guys for a while, man. We're gonna stay rocking with you guys. This is a respect the pump. I think today's a perfect example. That's what's up, man. Appreciate that, George. Yeah, I mean, clear indication. Just stay true, and you can see, you got to find these great communities. You got to find, something that you kind of believe in, because when the rest of the market is freaking testing everybody, there's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do about that. There's literally nothing we can do about that. We just got to go with the flow of that. And if you got a great project like Clash, right? Look at this. This was all, and not financial advice. This is all DCA territory. This is all load your bag. This is all load your bag territory. You know, not because George is saying so, not because I'm saying so, but you know, if you believe in the idea of this project having exposure to retail, unlike a lot of other projects, right? Like this thing has constant exposure. Like all of people that play Clash don't own crypto. I just downloaded Arc Raiders last night, and you know, I was talking to people on there and seeing how many people actually do crypto, and it's not that many. So there's going to be a moment, and I think this is like something that people sleep on. Like, I think this could be an ace. I think this could be like an ace that if Clash gets so big, like the Clash that George created, and these tournaments get so big that, you know, the actual Clash Royale game is promoting it. Like, I think that that's going to happen, right? Like, imagine a commercial like on your phone or whatever, these commercials or other KOLs that, hey, today play Clash Royale, you know, whatever, you know, all that stuff, right? Those type of KOLs that you see for the commercials for these games. Why not see them talking about George's tournaments? Now, it doesn't have to directly shill the token, but what if they started shilling the tournaments? Like, this game is huge, fam. And I think that, you know, this is how providing value to the marketplace, value will come back to you, because these tournaments are huge for not just a project, but they're huge for the community. They're actually good for Clash itself, right? So keep an eye on Clash, fam. Do not fade this project. That would really hurt. So market is green and Clash is leading the pack. One of the biggest movers on the board, strong momentum, strong community. When the market runs, Clash stands out. And that's what I want you guys to remember. Like in those moments when the market's pulling back, this is where you're supposed to do an audit on all your stuff, right? Because really nothing changed. The fundamentals of Clash stood the same. So, like, you know, hold your Clash, fam. Get some more Clash. Buy somebody some Clash. He's not going anywhere. He's been in the market forever. Just trust the process with this one. Respect the pump. I mean, today's a perfect example of Clash and the community respecting the pump. I don't think it's over. Clash, you guys know what happens. The minute it breaks 50 million, we break past this, and I've never seen one of these teams where they break 1 million and they, or 100 million. Like, look at Kendu, look at Myro, look at all these plays. When they break 100 million, the same thing happens. They go to like 200, 300 million. Same thing like when you first break $1 million market cap, you don't stay at 1.5. You literally break 1 million and shoot up to like 2 million and some change right away, right? Same thing when you break 10 million. You don't stay at 10 million. No, bro, it would never be stopped, bro. It would never be stopped, bro. It would never be stopped, bro. And I honestly, fam, I think one thing that a lot of people don't talk about is the day that the tournaments get so big that the actual game Clash is promoting the tournaments. That's exposure to retail that I don't know anybody else can do that, right? So that is massive. We're not that far off from breaking 50. We know when we break 50, things get really exciting. You know, we start seeing 60, 70, 80, maybe even 90 mil. But I would really be looking at this, and, you know, there's going to be a moment where we're looking at this in the hundreds of $1 million market cap. You know, yeah, the markets are looking good, and we're having to respect the pump day across the board. BTC, ETH, Solana, BNB, Clash, Manyu. Communities are rallying right now, and man, we're excited for that. I mean, how can we not be excited for that? You know, it was just all that downtrend, all that consolidation, all that boringness. And, you know, we got the holiday season. We got to be all happy with everybody. And really, we wanted crypto to pump more than anything, right? But here we are. Here we are. So, you know, this is a perfect example of, I want everybody who is truly bullish on Clash long term to notice that when the markets are pulling back, that could be one of your perfect times, one of your easiest times to honestly potentially be loading up on Clash, because the fundamentals were the same, fam. You got to pay attention to that stuff. It's super crucial. Appreciate the super chat, man. I really do. A lot of our community from this channel got in at 360K market cap with Clash. A lot of people are still holding. We're super bullish on it. You know, we were talking about Clash before it was cool to talk about it. And we talked about it during the downtrend. And when most people were, I mean, I got some DMs. People were like, hey, are you still bullish on Clash? I'm like, yeah, bro. I mean, everything's going down when the market's going down. It's just, Same thing with BTC. Are you not bullish on BTC because it's pulling back? It's like, no, still the same BTC, right? Still the same BTC. So yeah, man, a lot of people got in early, but it's still just as cheap as it was before, bro. If Clash breaks into the hundreds of $1 million market cap and we see Clash, start flirting with $500 million market cap, that's a $1 billion play. You get the actual game to start promoting the tournaments. I mean, the possibilities are endless. So make sure you guys subscribe as well, man. We pull up Clash all the time. Like I said, we're tapped in extremely. A lot of people inside of the chat right now, I'm telling you, they hold Clash and they got in very early. I got a lot of thank yous from the Clash play when we got in at 360K market cap. Somebody even bought a car off of that. So shout out to them. Some people got way ahead of the game with some of the things that they had to do. And I'm happy for them. I'm happy that, they started school and they, they're ahead of the game, getting a car and stuff. Like, that's cool. It doesn't have to be a Lambo, bro. But now you don't got to worry and stuff. And, you're actually showing that crypto's valid. Like, man, that's awesome. So we're going to be checking out Hellboy right here. Obviously, fam, this is a low market cap gem, 400K, 407. And what I like to do when I'm looking at this type of stuff is the narratives, right? Notice when the markets are dead, we don't see this Matt Fury stuff really come to life. We don't see a lot of that Matt Fury anything. And we've done really good on Matt Fury plays. I mean, I've been hit on some of the Matt Fury plays as well where, those things are just dust. I'm just going to be 100 with you guys. But finding these plays when the markets are hot, there's always a market when the markets are hot for a solid Matt Fury community to do some numbers, right? Is it this one? I don't know. I'm not sure. I clicked on it because I liked Hellboy. You guys let me know down in the chat if you think we should be having a Hellboy 3 because they didn't give us a Hellboy 3. I think they should have a Hellboy 3. They only gave us Hellboy 1 and 2, and they should do a Hellboy 3, but we'll see if we ever get that. But this is one right here. This is one right here. So you got some marketing going on. You got a YouTuber as well. Okay, haven't heard of this guy. Nice. So you got some marketing going on, but and I've seen this character before, this Hellboy character. I don't know if it was actually called Hellboy or whatnot, but I have seen this Matt Fury character. But that's not how we judge this space when it comes to these characters, right? A lot of different Matt Fury plays have done good. There's been a ton of different ones. How many Pepes have done good, right? So you were seeing 2-bit crypto. Okay, shout out to him. So a lot of that kind of recipe of what these things kind of look like when they start to do kind of good. And we could be finding it early. This could be as far as it goes as well, right? We don't know. And I suggest, it's not financial advice, but you only put in what you're willing to lose. And if it runs, it runs. We got the markets being hot right now. Things are kind of pumping. And, this is just 2 days old. This could be us finding an early Matt Fury play, kind of catching that wave that we've been waiting for, right? You're seeing other YouTubers talk about it. You got 2-bit crypto. You got a bunch of different people talking about it. You got some, your X space shillers and whatnot like that, pulsing it out. So take a look at this one. And more than anything, I'm taking a look at this one. Like, I didn't get a bag of this. I'm not telling you to get a bag. What I'm looking at is that the Matt Fury narrative and that hype is back. There was a little while ago that it didn't matter what Matt Fury idea you had, it was not going to work. But this could be one of these that work, and, catch it on the pullback. If the markets continue to push, Ethereum continues to move, this could be one of those Matt Fury plays that kind of ignite the whole Matt Fury narrative all over again, where we start to see all the other Matt Fury plays kind of start to make some noise. So low cap right here, sitting at 350K market cap. Maybe it comes back to this 240K. Maybe you just sprinkle it, and if it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, it doesn't, right? That's kind of how these things work. Oh, you see a nice little pullback right there. I always like to wait for a nice little, fear. Good old fear is always good. So maybe it pulls back to 200K. Maybe it goes to 0. We don't know, right? We just saw this and we're judging this like this narrative kind of coming back to life. And that's usually a sign of the markets feeling exciting again, right? So let's go to the next one as well. We're going to cover this one has come back to life and got a lot of people's attention and kind of did the same pattern that we told everybody Clash was going to do and the pattern that we love. Once it breaks $10 million market cap, it starts to send. And this is one that we're keeping the eye on because it's already done that nice little breakout, right? That all that trading, $5 million market cap, trying to get above to that 10, trying to fight to the 10, trying to break past the 10, shake everybody out because they're like, oh, I can't break the $10 million market cap. And the same thing that happened with Clash and all of our favorite plays. The minute it broke $10 million market cap, yes, there's this like boom, almost the same thing as what we do when we're trading futures. of this first mouse, second mouse, and that happens quite a bit. Hitting $10 million market cap, coming back down to or breaking past $10 million market cap, going to like 15, 20, coming back to 10, staying above it, and then going right past that. So let's see if it can hold above 20. You know, if it does, it could definitely go towards 50. But this is one to keep an eye on. And yeah, some people say, you know, you can't do technical analysis on meme coins, but you know what? Keep looking at all the plays and don't tell me why when they break $10 million market cap, we see the same little pattern so much. You know, and that's what I want you guys to focus on. If you find a great play, you find a great community, you know, if it's undervalued, if it's under $5-10 million market cap, you know, it could still have a lot of legs around. I know we want to find them even cheaper and get in even sooner, but I do want you guys to notice that, you know, you can find a play like Clash. I see the Clash fam still pulling up. That is still cheap at these market caps. Like Kendu, I found at 30. Well, they found me actually, but at $38 million market cap. Most people would be like, oh, I don't want nothing to do with it. It's at $38 million market cap. I didn't get in early enough. What did Kendu shoot up to? 280 mil. And I think something like that's going to happen to Clash. I think people are thinking like, you know what? I missed it, whatever. It's like, you didn't miss it. If it flies all the way to 200-300 million dollar market cap, you didn't miss anything. You know, you could still definitely get a bag. I got one at 1.5 million. Nice, man. 25x coming soon. Man, I can see it. I can see it. I don't even need a crystal ball to look into. I can see it, man. I was telling everybody the fundamentals were the same. They never change. Don't fade yourself, man. Don't cheat yourself. Treat yourself. And everybody could have treated themselves to more Clash. You know, during the holiday season, you could have bought yourself some more Clash because the fundamentals stood the same. You know, nothing changed. We move with the ebb and flow of the market, fam. And this one's looking really good. We're going to keep an eye on this one. Like I said, I don't have a bag of this one. We're not chasing it. We're focusing on this little pattern that we see. So maybe we see this pattern again, break 10 million, go to the next level. We see that time and time and time again. Yeah, I can't wait till the Clash prediction comes out because that's going to be a lot of marketing from that Clash prediction. We're going to be marketing that for you guys nonstop on the channel. Like, we're going to check it out. We're going to use it. So make sure you guys pull up. We're going to be flexing it as hard as we can because, you know, George kind of did a really nice one with that one because that's a brand new market and it's not going anywhere. And Clash already has a really big community. So that thing can have a lot of power coming out the gate, a lot of adoption, and that adoption is going to come back to Clash anyway. So that's huge. So we're going to get that out there for sure for all of our bags, man. Let's go on to this next play. Man, yeah, let's make it happen, broski. Let's make it happen. I'll join them on the stream. You can join me. We can do a full Clash stream. I mean, I know the community will absolutely love that for sure. I think it would be pretty bullish for everybody. I really do. And especially when that new utility comes out, like we're going to be flexing it nonstop. So it would be nice to hear what he feels about it as well, where he wants to take it, and just let everybody else hear from it. Jurassic Park, everybody. Jurassic Park. Here we go. We got Jurassic Park. So, yeah, man, don't sleep on this one. It's looking really good. I don't got a bag on it. I'd rather wait for a pullback. I just like when I find something like this and I see this break 10 million, you know, go to 15, 20, and it does this pattern. I like to acknowledge that, right? When we found Manyu, what price was Manyu? Was over here. When we found Clash, it was the same topic, fam. Like it was looking like this. And I was like, hey, fam. I was like, this thing has a lot of exposure. I was like, I would not sleep on this. It was $3.4 million market cap. I was like, if it breaks 10 million, you guys know what it does. And the same thing happens every time. Yeah, we're not super technical analysis. None of this is financial advice, but there are some particular patterns that when they happen, you start to see a lot of price action get exciting again. What happened over here? Break past the $10 million market cap. Of course, it's pumping up again. Of course, it's pumping up again. So very bullish times up ahead. I love where the space is, how the space is feeling right now. This was needed, right? We needed this little breakout. It's feeling really good. I like this. You know, we're respecting the freaking pump across the board. And I really do enjoy that. We got the overall crypto market cap pumping. We got some cool things going on in the space. I mean, this is what we've been waiting for, fam. This is exactly what we've been waiting for. When we scroll down, we see majority green. That's crazy bullish. All right. Let's go into something that we're talking about. This is the project we launched, 19 months ago, man. Time flies so fast. This is xpxpay.com. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen it, heard about it around, but we launched this on smartdefi.com, which you guys can come check out. We launched it on the BNB network. Let me come show you guys over here. Launched on the BNB network. If you guys come over here and boom, boom, boom. So you got Noma token pumping, you got XPX moving, you got FEG token moving. But more importantly, I want to talk about this right here because we got a lot of stuff going on, fam. It's extremely bullish, and I don't want you guys to miss out on this, right? This is as bullish as it gets because we got utility that everybody can use right now. This is the project I launched on Smart DeFi, like I said, 19 months ago. Solid daily looking chart, and we're just providing utility for the space. And I'm going to show you guys some of that utility right now because talk is cheap, and I think I just rather show you guys what's going on right now. So last night I downloaded Arc Raiders, man. I'm going full gamer mode. I'm going. We're gonna do that. What's those gamer girls? That EU. But we downloaded Arc Gamers last night, and the way that I did that, I went to xpxpay.com and I got a non-KYC gift card, and I just went just like this. This is what I did, fam, and I want you guys to know that you guys can do the same. We went to non-KYC. We went to gift cards right here. Went to the select the country, put the U right there. Oh, that's the letter I. Went to the United States. Boom, 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 right? Select the card. I went to Steam. Boom, like this. And I just bought me a Steam card. I got me $100 Steam card. Simple as that. And then, and you know what? It worked super fast, fam. I mean, this is utility that the space can use. And I also want to put this out there. If you guys are playing Arc Raiders, let me know because we're going to be playing Arc Raiders. I do want to stream this a little bit. We're going to be having some fun, just having some fun, honestly, just doing some other stuff. We're going to be downloading some other games. Let me know what games you guys think I should download on Steam. I'm going to be getting a PS5. Don't worry. I'm always on my PC right here. This little Freedom Station that I got set up, I'm always set up right here. So the PS5 is going to have to be set up somewhere else. Again, all this other stuff. But right now we're doing a little bit of that Arc Raiders, fam. And I was talking to some people, and it's just crazy bullish how, we can transact with our crypto and give our crypto power right now. So if you guys want to use non-KYC gift cards, you guys can come over here to xpxpay.com, go to crypto bill pay, use the gift cards, get your games on Steam, right? Or if you guys want to get a 10K non-KYC MasterCard, like the ones that you guys see our friend Akari using in Japan. Where's she at? She's amazing. Shout out to Akari for this. We actually got 2 giveaways that I'm going to be taking care of non-KYC cards. But if you also want a 10K limit, why is it not sharing my screen? 1 second, fam. If you guys want a 10K limit MasterCard, you guys can also do what she's doing right here and have a 10K limit non-KYC, fam. That's super powerful that you can connect to your Apple Pay, Google Pay, Samsung Pay, and you guys can be in Tokyo, Japan. You guys can be taking me out to eat, and we could be having some good sushi and, having a good time. And that's what it's all about, fam. That's what it's all about. So we got Akari right here using that MasterCard. If you guys want the MasterCard to connect to your Apple Pay, Google Pay, Samsung Pay, come over here to the same spot, xpxpay.com. Go to Crypto Bill Pay right here or Crypto Bill Pay right there. Scroll down, go to non-KYC MasterCard. Pick the type of currency. Of course, it's going to be USDT. And pick which card you want. You want a 1K limit. You want a 5K limit. No VPN needed. You want a 10K limit. No VPN needed. We have the Onyx. We also have some Visa cards for you guys, some lower limit Visa cards. And these are all mobile wallet compatible. That is crazy bullish. And we got over 6 figures in paid orders. So yes, we can handle the bandwidth, whether it's non-KYC bill payments, if it's your KYC card, if it's your non-KYC card, if it's your non-KYC gift cards. We got the bandwidth, and you guys can go ahead and use this on a regular basis. We've been live for 19 months doing our thing with people using our cards around the world and around the world. So that is XPX, man. I do want to check out some more plays. We saw the Pump Mine virus pulling up I'm not sure if the Teary fam is here. We got the Can Do fam is here. I mean, here you go. Reserve your table, with using crypto in the real world. Tap to pay, buy a bottle and reserve a table. How? Use your crypto. Do it with Solana. Do it with ETH. Do it with BNB. Whatever it is that you guys want to do it. Do it with a trusted product that's been live for 19 months. Showing you guys, 10K limit, no KYC, less than 10 minutes. You're gonna have the card on your phone, which is crazy. Crazy bullish, fam. Super bullish. So give us a follow at XPX Token. If you guys got any questions, DM me directly at Rico Moneybags or join us in the Telegram. We got a space going on later on today. If you guys want to join us and ask some questions about these non-KYC cards, if you guys got some questions on how to get one yourself, let me know. And like this as well, man. Get the freedom, man, with your cards. All right. So let's go on. I'll show this link as well one more time where you guys can get a bag, and then we're going to keep it moving. I want you guys to give me some plays, man. Let me know if I should get Arc Raiders. I usually don't like PvP, but I hear, you know what, bro? It's kind of cool, bro. It's kind of cool. We're gonna stream a game. We're just gonna have fun with it. Like that's what we do, honestly, AD. Like we're streamers, we're a crypto fam, but we're in Web3, and we're gonna stream one of these. It's gonna be hilarious because I'm not that good at it, and it's like a little bit of a learning curve of like your loadout and all that stuff, and it's a slower pace. It's not, I think a lot of people like it, but I think I'm actually, now that I'm gaming, I guess, again, I do want a faster pace shooting game, but it is cool how you can build stuff, and it gives you that like, if I don't know what year is based on it, but it feels like it's like 2050 or something, or let's put 2150, where you got to build things, and your gun is all janky and stuff. Is like some kind of gun that you made. It's not even perfect and stuff. So yeah, so I think it's pretty cool. But I think, I'll be looking at something that's a little bit more fast paced so I can just own nonstop. But yeah, you got drones flying and stuff trying to kill you. So yeah, it's kind of like in the future, I guess. But it is pretty cool. Go to your Steam and get your card. That's the way I would do it. Get your Steam card and do it that way. Let's go look at some more plays, fam. I am feeling extra bullish on the space. I know we got Pump Mine Virus, or I'm not sure. I know they're going through. Let's go. Give me some plays, man. We're just gonna check everything out right now. So Pump Mine Virus is here. This is where the FOMO was starting. Oh, we just got to get up there again, fam. We just got to get up there again. We're going to check out Kulo next. That's a nice little play. A lot of the Clash fan probably know about Kulo as well. But right here, we got this Pump Mine Virus. They got a great community, man. It's just getting above these market caps and creating the FOMO once again. You guys were already creating the FOMO, headed in that direction. Just get in that direction again. But you know what? The Pump Mine Virus community is strong. And if there was a time for you guys to get active and, start pushing this thing really hard, right now is the time. Oh, you guys reposted the stream as well. Appreciate that, man. Really do. Want to give you guys that exposure, big or small project. What I'm really here, I'm rocking with communities. That's really what I'm looking for. And if I see a lot of people pulling up and great communities, hey, maybe I'll put a bag in there. Maybe, they'll work for my bag while I'm sleeping because they just have a really strong community. Let's look at some low cap gems. Let's look at the Teary fam. I don't see them in here, but we'll bring them up. We'll bring up Brett as well. Show you guys some plays. Look at the Teary fam. No crying in the casino. This is that section right here. Let's go. Head in that right direction. The Teary fam. No crying in the casino. They got a fantastic community, super active community. One that I don't think nobody should ignore. I think they got a very strong narrative, a narrative that most likely is going to be multi-cycle, because I think we're always going to tell people, hey, no crying in the casino. And here you guys go. There's a space later on today, 6 p.m. We got today, 6 p.m. No crying at the casino space. So Lisa right there, set your reminder. Shout out to Lisa and everything that she does for the space as well. We got to support the people in this space, man, honestly. So that is the Teary fam, and a great community, hosting spaces, doing things for their plays, doing things for their community. That's what it's all about, fam. That's what it's all about. Let's go to the Brett community next. I see AD up in here. We'll bring up the OG Brett, the original Brett, consolidating right on that line. Let's go. $1.4 million market cap. And this is where we first found the OG Brett, was over here. And we got to go through this. We didn't even sell, fam. We didn't even sell. We're back. If you felt like you missed it and you're like, Rico, I wish I would have got in when you got in, and it pumped all the way up to almost 50 mil. Well, this is that same price right here. This is the floor. This is what I consider the floor on the original Brett, the first Brett on the blockchain. It's like, I'm just going to leave that bag there for one day when it just pumps and AD takes this to the moon for me. And AD is like, Rico, check your Brett bag because it's just flying, man. Rico, check your Brett bag. We're at $1 billion market cap. We're the original first Brett on the blockchain. How can we not get respected, right? So this is the original Brett. There you guys go. And with Matt Fury plays coming back to life, maybe it's time for the Brett community to come back to life. Let's get them pulling up to the stream. Let's get them reposting. Let's get them active on X, because all of that stuff right now will probably get reciprocated and feel good. You know, sometimes it's hard to stay bullish. And, you know, we felt it, even the greatest projects, you know, they're pulling back when the rest of the market's pulling back. And you're like, am I not rating good enough? You know, am I not shilling the shill? Am I not shilling it the way I'm supposed to be shilling it? It's like, no, it's not that. It's not you. It's not that at all. The markets are just testing everybody. All right. And then when the markets turn around, you know, we got all that saved up energy. We put our we put that foot on the gas. We put that foot on the gas. So here we go. $1.4 million market cap. OG Brett. As low as it can go right there. Let's see what else we got, fam. Let's look at some big names. We're just kind of scanning through right now. Appreciate you guys pulling up so strong, sharing the stream, reposting the stream on your guys' pages goes a long way. I just want all of our bags to grow. Whatever it is that you're bullish on, you know, we'll find it. We'll find it. You got Mog right here. Sheesh, look at this thing. Possibly found this floor too. But I think all these plays, a lot of these people are in Clash now. You know, there's like, if you look at how many holders Clash keeps gaining, and like how some of the biggest names, I'm not being bearish on Mog. I'm not, you know, fudding anybody's Mog bag, but I will say like Clash's presence is different because the holder count just keeps growing. This is where Clash is going to be going next. These type of market caps. Crazy bullish. Let's look at some other ones. I think this one found its floor as well. Let's look at some of these higher plays that people, you know, they were talking about it. Everybody was screaming about them, and now they kind of forgot about them. But this is kind of when they kind of start popping back up, when these markets kind of come back to life like this, and when people have been ignoring them and all that excitement is gone. A $2 billion market cap's gone. We're back down to 500 million. You know, now it's not that exciting. Nobody's talking about it, but next, you know, it just comes right back to life. This is a perfect example of when these things start to happen. And I would keep an eye on this play as well. You know, it definitely has the potential to be $1 billion play once again. It has a massive community. And when these markets get all exciting and pumping again, everything starts coming back to life, right? Look, we've been finding the floor on all these big names. You know, these things are all, I think almost everybody's shooken out of where they needed to be shooken out. Here goes your Pepe. Even Pepe had this floor having this nice little pump back to almost $3 billion market cap. So across the board, you're finding where everything's kind of found its floor and is respecting the pump. Is it a pump that we're going to respect to the next level? We're not too sure yet. We're not too sure, but we are seeing almost even as big as the market cap might be or as small as the market cap might be, you're seeing a really good area for plays to start to build a floor right there and take off because the rest of the market is on board with this sentiment right now. What's up, Psychedelic Angel? So extremely bullish on the space right now. I think all of you guys are as well. You know, we're going to be finding some more plays for you guys. You know, send me some DMs at Rico Moneybags. Let me know who should we have up on stage. You know, let your developers know to contact me so I can send them the private link. We could just get them up here. And why not? You know, talk about your plays and see what they're bullish on. Have the community excited. Talk about cryptocurrency. We got over, you know, close to 600 people live with us. We stream for about an hour, sometimes over an hour, because, you know, the markets are just feeling really great. They're feeling really bullish. And, you know, we want to ride that wave. I mean, why not? Why not respect the pump right now? And there's going to be corrections, as you're seeing right now, a little pullback. And that's going to happen because obviously, you know, we just ran up really hard, right? We ran up super hard. And most likely on the 1 hour, we got this right here, breaking the 50 moving average. Of course, look at this. Above the, look at that nice little run. Ooh, where's it going to? maybe we come down to the 200, back to 90K. It could even come to the point of control of 88K. But the overall trend right now on this daily chart, we are looking really good. Do not let these small corrections psych you out, because these things are actually looking really good. And you're seeing Clash, you're seeing Manyu, you're seeing your Pepe, your Hellboys, your XPX, you're seeing all this stuff really start to lift up, and the overall sentiment be there. So, there's going to be natural corrections. Nothing just goes automatically up, but don't fade right now. Maybe, when you see a correction, maybe it's time to buy some more Clash, buy some more XPX, buy some more Manyu. Or, you just watch it go up when the correction is over. That is entirely up to you. But I think we had a fantastic stream. You guys are absolutely amazing. Without you guys, this stream would honestly wouldn't be what it is today. So I really do appreciate you guys sharing the stream so much, reposting it on your guys' page, getting the word out there as much as you guys can. Because yeah, I do this for all of us, right? This is a live stream. This channel really belongs to you guys. So get the word out there so I can talk about your favorite plays. Whatever it is that you're buying, whether it's meme coins, whether it's utility plays, letting you spend your crypto and, download ARC Raiders to go ahead and meet you guys on Steam and have some fun on there, and meet some people and shill some crypto on Steam games, and let them know how I got onto Steam, whatever it might be. Could be the memes, could be the utility plays. This channel is here for all of us. So thank you guys for pulling up so much. Definitely give Blunt a look over here as well. Super solid person in the space. You guys don't want to miss out on him as well. Always giving us some alpha on where things are headed. Comment, subscribe. If you guys can't do that, continue to come back and experience the abundance of money with me. Until next time, you guys know what it is. Later, fam.